Robin Fierce is not only a host and performer, she is a bouncer. Yeah. So don't let the diva-dom fool you, okay?
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Joey Nolfi with Entertainment Weekly. I am here talking with the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15. Now, this next queen, her title really says it all. You get the full picture when you say it. Robin Fierce. And just by looking at her, I mean, come on, this is a very fierce package right here. I mean, the name says it all. I'm correct in assuming that, right? It's just fierceness all the time.
Absolutely. Like, what else are you gonna get?
Nothing, clearly nothing, nothing. We have established it all right here and now. Now, you said in a past interview that you're a product of Drag Race, so you're living proof that Drag Race, I guess, does change lives and sort of shapes and eases people. I did my research, yes, patting myself on the back. So you're proof that it sort of shapes people and their careers before the show, right?
Yeah, I think, especially any queen starting now, Drag Race is kind of a huge part of that. Of course, not every single queen, but a lot of us started by watching Drag Race, or if we did start, the love for drag really was amplified by Drag Race.
Yeah, and that's a deep love for you though, right?
Of course. I'm here early in the morning before my wake-up time in drag. That's love.
What's the normal wake-up time in drag?
I like to be around like 11. Mm-hmm. That's comfortable for me. Sometimes at 10, if I'm wanting to get up early, you know?
Right at 11 a.m., right when the View is starting. We're gonna watch the View right when we get our drag on.
Whoopee, best wake-up call of the day.
Yeah, of course, of course. I would love to wake up no other way. Now, you grew up in Connecticut, correct? Mm-hmm. I think that makes you a sister of Jax?
Jax is technically a New York queen. Jax grew up in
Connecticut. Okay.
And then started doing drag in New York, which is kind of opposite. I grew up in Connecticut, but I was born in New York and then started doing drag in...
Did you have a relationship? Because I think I saw some photos of you together. So was there like a relationship between you two?
At one of my home bars, she did one of my shows with me. Mm-hmm. And that's how we kind of got to know each other. And then I started working in New York a little bit more, and we didn't work together as much, but we would always like bump into each other, and we had each other on social media and stuff. So it was definitely nice having her in the cast.
So that was before you all joined season 15. So what was it like when you really, like, you walked into the workroom and you realized,
oh my gosh, yes! It's always nice, because you never know who's going to be there. So it's always nice to have somebody to lean on or a friendly face, especially somebody that you didn't have drama with before the show.
Oh yeah, that's always good.
So that's always nice. But yeah, it was really good.
But were there certain things where you were like, okay, yeah, it's exciting, but then also like, I'm gonna have to compete against Jax?
No, not really. I'm not like a super competitive person. In the beginning of my drag career, I did one drag competition and the rest was really working. So I never really got that like, I need to beat this person really bad kind of thing. It was always, how could I be better than myself and everybody else? You do what you do. That doesn't affect my check, honey. So yeah.
Now, I also was seeing some photos of you with Jasmine Kennedy, so are you close with her as well?
Yes, me and Jasmine Kennedy worked together probably 3 years before she got on the show. We used to do a lot of stuff in Long Island with drag queen divas.
Oh, yeah.
And doing brunches with all the girls. It was always a good time.
Did you reach out to her for any advice before the show?
I definitely did. And honestly, she was super helpful to me, like getting in the right mental space. Like, I feel like I had so many little mini breakdowns and I would call her. And she'd be like, just calm down, girl. Ask them if you need any help. Ask them if you have any questions. Like, take a breather. I know it's serious, but it's not that serious. So she was definitely very helpful to me, and I'm very thankful for her.
It's nice to have that guiding force, I guess, when you're doing something as big as Drag Race. It can be a very intimidating thing. New York girls like Jasmine have kept the untucked crown in New York for the past 2 seasons, because we had Candy and then Jasmine. So is New York keeping it this year? Is a different city taking it? Like, what is your take on where untucked is going?
Maybe it's coming to Connecticut. Maybe she was the drama.
Is she the drama?
Is she the drama?
Is she the drama? We don't know. We'll see. I think that is crazy that we go from no Connecticut girls in the entire Drag Race to 3 on one season. Like, what is the Connecticut scene like?
I think Connecticut is just like any other place. We're just a smaller state. We have so many different kinds of drag. We have the camp, we have the kooky, we have the spooky, the ooky, the glamour. We have high energy queens. Like, any kind of drag that you want to find in Connecticut, find around Connecticut, it's there.
Yep.
You just have to look for it. We don't have as many venues as maybe like a New York or a does Boston have that many?
Boston?
Not
Queens?
as much now. Like venues.
Oh, venues. I was going to say Jujubee might now.
Oh, well, yeah. But yeah, there's really any and everything in Connecticut. It's just a little smaller.
Yeah.
A little tiny baby state. A whittle state.
A widow state, a widowville state. You have taken those stages in Connecticut by storm, though. I'm doing my research. Music and singing, you said, were your first passions before drag. So tell me about your experience with that, and do you do live singing in your drag shows?
I do live singing when I do drag. When I first started, I did not want to live sing because I'm like, oh, it's a female illusion kind of thing, and I'm a lovely tenor. And I didn't want to like break the illusion, but at the end of the day, like, it's my art, and they always say if you don't use it, you lose it, and I didn't want to lose my voice not using it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have a stage, I have a microphone, why not add singing to the mix? So I definitely do sing, and I'm going to continue to sing in my show.
So is it still like when you do a singing performance, do you try to also do like the acrobatics of that you would do in a normal lip sync, or do you just try to stand still, motionless?
I think it depends on the song. I'm definitely not going to be doing dips and splits and stuff while I'm singing, just because I need to keep the mechanism intact, darling.
Of course.
But I have done like choreography while singing before, and that was really fun. So I want to kind of venture into doing more stuff like that. Eventually, yeah, you're definitely not getting the knucking and bucking during the singing moments, but they do come here and there.
That could be interesting, though, if you ever want to try it, the knucking and bucking while singing.
I mean, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's time, there's a place. So
You can't will chaos into the world. You also have said that you're inspired by Mariah Carey, Beyonce, Diane Carroll. So how do all three of those women live in your artistry? What inspirations do you take from them?
I think I get like my grandiose like ladiness from like Mariah Carey's and Diane Carroll's. And I think with Diane Carroll specifically, like when you watch her, it's very like grand, but also when you watch her interviews, she's just as silly as the rest of us. You just think that she's not just by looking at her and watching how she acts and stuff. But she loves to have a good time, and I feel like that's very me. And Beyonce definitely with like the performing side of it. And how much she like puts into a performance. Do
you take that diva attitude with you from those women into Drag Race maybe this season?
When I think diva, I don't think diva like, oh my gosh, where's my champagne, darling? Where's all this stuff?
Oh,
like,
I don't either.
It's not in like the diva aggressive way,
no,
but
I don't
diva
think
like,
that either.
hi,
yes,
I'm here. We're about to do a thing and get into it because the face is on, the body is on, the look is on. I think you'll get a little of the diva-dom. In
Mariah,
the best way.
Yes, and Mariah is the queen of doing that in the best way. So I hope we see that.
She is. I saw her once when she was doing her Christmas tour at the Beacon Theater.
Oh wait, I was there too. Like I saw that too. Yeah.
I think it was the second year she did it. It was so good.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So good.
Yeah, it's incredible. She is a performer that can just stand there and do nothing but hold a microphone and pretend to sing, and it's the best thing in the world.
Goals. One day, when I'm up there and about to retire in drag, I'm gonna just stand there, and y'all would just take it in.
Yes, I will be there. I will be standing there taking it in, yes. Now, I also, something funny I came across in my research on you, someone who I pray for to this day, I guess, is someone who should never try you again, a woman in a video on TikTok where you're just breaking up a fight in your audience during a show. So walk me through that moment. Did you sense...
Robin Fierce is not only a host and performer, she is a bouncer. Yeah. So do not try, don't let the diva-dom fool you, okay? I don't like people interrupting the show. If you don't know how to act at a drag show, maybe you should not be there. I broke up the fight. The lady fell. It was definitely a moment that will go down in infamy in Robin Fierce history. Yes. But sometimes people just be acting wild, and I didn't even want them to get kicked out of the bar. I'm just like, y'all, if you're gonna fight, go back outside, do whatever you have to do, and then you can come back and watch the show. I don't give a Just come and be peaceful and watch the show and give me dollars.
Right.
Okay?
Yes. Did they tip you after that?
They ended up getting kicked out, so they did not return the dollars. But my Venmo is the Robin Fierce if you're out there and want to tip me after fighting at my show. Thank you.
I mean, the woman experienced a fight at her show. She deserves some tips. Was that the first time you've ever had to do that?
I have kind of moved people out of the way before if they were getting a little too close to the stage and acting wild. As a drag queen, if you work in nightclubs, you're always gonna experience those drunk bitches who it's their time to go.
Yeah.
You gotta exit the room. So that's just something that I'm used to. It's just annoying when I have to stop the whole show to get it together.
Yeah, it made for a good TikTok though.
It did make for a good TikTok, and if anybody else wants to fight at my shows, make sure it's getting recorded so I can make another TikTok.
Yes. You also said that getting fired from Best Buy was one of the best things that happened to you in the COVID era. So can you please explain that?
I think that I'm a person that is risk averse or weighs risks very heavily, and to quit my job to become a full drag queen was a huge risk for me, and I don't think I would have did it as soon if I was not fired during the COVID times, which Best Buy we're not a fan of right now. Well, actually, yes, because they did fire me and then now we're here. But it was during the COVID times, and I was homeschooling my youngest brother because my stepmom and dad didn't want to send him back to school. So I was there, and then they brought us back, and I guess my availability wasn't good enough for them, and I've emailed them multiple times and all this stuff to get all of that set. And it just didn't work out for them, didn't work out for me, so they're just stopped putting me on the schedule, and I never showed up again, and here we are, a full-time drag queen, now nationally known.
This is Best Buy's doing.
This is Best Buy's doing, and they should have seen it coming. I would literally go to Best Buy in drag if I had a gig, so it was coming sooner or later.
You should do a protest gig in the parking lot of Best Buy or something.
Well, actually, I don't think I'm gonna protest them only because they did let me show up to work in drag when I had gigs. Oh yeah, I fully have sold TVs in drag.
Oh wait, so you weren't kidding, all right?
I'm dead serious.
Oh my gosh. How do people react in that when you're selling them a TV in drag?
Some people didn't know I was drag queen, and some people kind of just avoided me in their polite way. And then some people bought TVs from me, and then they would come back the next day and oh, some woman helped me. Where is she? I want to work with her again. And then they would point to me out of drag, and they would just mouth agape
oh my God.
No way.
What did you wear while you were selling the TVs? I mean, obviously the uniform, but what kind of hair?
I wore my little bob auntie wig because it's easy. I didn't have to glue it down, and it's very managerly, you know.
Of course.
Full body and Best Buy uniform. What else does a drag queen wear to Best Buy when she has to work?
It's padding, breastplate.
Yes, you were getting the full fantasy.
I need pictures of this.
It's somewhere. I'll look it up. I've posted them before, but
this is the greatest discovery I think I've ever had in an interview that you did. Sales at Best Buy in drag. I love it so much. I'm digging the Robin Fierce experience.
So host, performer, bouncer, saleswoman,
and also professor of drag now, espousing all of this information.
Yes,
5 titles we've created for you. Talking about season 15, how do you think season 15 is going to gag fans and step it up from season 14?
I'm gonna say it's the Game of Thrones of Drag Race seasons.
Okay, Shangela. Okay.
Oh, has she said that?
Well, she's the Daenerys.
She is the Daenerys. Yes. But not in that way. In the way of your faves might before you expect it.
Oh wow. Okay,
maybe.
So twists
and turns.
Yeah, twists and turns.
I mean, with Drag Race, you're always gonna get a twist and a turn.
Of course.
And this season is no exception.
Yeah.
And honestly, one of the most gaggy seasons. Everybody is so talented. So I think that's why it's kind of the Game of Thrones of drag, because you never know who is gonna go.
We have a lot of legends on this cast. I mean, Sasha Colby, Malaysia. I mean, it's just, it's a great cast.
I love the pageant system, but I'm not aware of everything that goes on. I knew of Sasha Colby, but I didn't know the dynasty of Sasha Colby.
Oh, yes.
And I told her I don't know everything about you, but I'm so excited to get to learn and see the magnificence that is you. And she didn't disappoint.
Oh, of course. I have a feeling you're not going to disappoint either. I
hope not.
Yes. But the last thing I'll ask you is, after having competed, with all this experience of competing on season 15 behind you, if right now you could go back in time and say one thing to the Robin that walked into that workroom on the first day, what would you say to her?
To have more fun, and things aren't gonna go how they go in your head. So what's that Karate Kid thing? Be the grass. Where you're like still like floating in the wind, but the grass is still intact and not like blown away. That's a very long version of what the actual phrase is. But be malleable. Don't be so like firm on like what you think is going to happen, and just enjoy the time. Like when I think back at it, I had fun now, but in the moment it's still stressful.
Yeah.
So just let go. Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what you do on the show. Thank you so much for being here with me, and stay tuned for more from the cast of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 15. Thank you, Robin.
Thank you. This is so fun.
Yeah.